Khamzat Chimaev is not scared, not even a little bit. And when a man tells you he'd be happy to die, you better believe he means every word of it. Sean Strickland came into UFC 328 fight week doing what Sean Strickland does best, running his mouth. He called Chimaev every name in the book, threw out slurs, and then cranked it up to a whole new level by threatening to shoot him and his entire team if things ever got heated between them. Most fighters would have clapped back hard, gone on social media, tried to match the energy. Chimaev? He laughed. He literally said, "Let's go. Do that. I will be happy to die." That's not a man play mind games. That's a man who genuinely does not process fear the way the rest of us do. But here's the thing that makes this whole situation even more interesting. Through 3 full days of fight week in Morristown, New Jersey, Khamzat Chimaev had not seen Sean Strickland once. Not in the lobby. Not at the hotel. Not at any media events. The UFC had taken serious precautions to keep these two completely separated, which tells you everything you need to know about how volatile this situation actually was behind the scenes. Chimaev was sitting in that lobby day after day, and the man who promised to shoot him was nowhere to be found. So Chimaev did something that made the whole room stop. He said he went looking for him. The current UFC middleweight champion, a man who has never lost a professional fight in his entire career, went out of his way to try to find Sean Strickland. Not out of anger, not out of revenge, just because when someone says they're going to shoot you, apparently Khamzat Chimaev wants to give them the opportunity to follow through. And that right there is what separates Khamzat Chimaev from almost every other fighter on the planet. Most people, when there's a genuine threat of violence, they get security, they avoid the situation, they let their team handle it. Chimaev walks toward it. He's been doing that his entire career, and every single time, the result has been the same. 15 fights, 15 wins, 0 losses. The man has never once felt what it's like to have his hand not raised at the end of the night. Now think about what that does to your psychology heading into a fight. Sean Strickland is coming in with 30 wins on his record. He's a tough, durable, relentless fighter who talks like he has nothing to lose. But Chimaev fights like someone who was never given anything in the first place. Born in Chechnya, fought his way through obscurity, built his entire reputation on being the most terrifying man in whatever room he walks into. And at UFC 328, that room is the Prudential Center in Newark, New Jersey. The trash talk from Strickland, the insults, the threats, the name-calling, Chimaev was crystal clear when he addressed it. He said it wasn't personal. And when a fighter says that leading into a championship bout, one of 2 things is happening. Either they're trying to seem unbothered to get in the other guy's head, or they genuinely mean it. With Chimaev, you watch his eyes when he says it, you watch his body language, and it becomes obvious he genuinely means it. He doesn't dislike Strickland. He doesn't hate him. He just sees him as the next problem to solve, the next name on a list that's already 14 names long. That's a terrifying headspace to fight someone from. Strickland's strategy coming in, whether he admitted it or not, was psychological. Get inside Chimaev's head before the first bell even rings. Make him emotional, make him sloppy, make him fight angry instead of smart. It's a strategy that has worked against other fighters. Strickland has a way of getting under people's skin that goes beyond normal trash talk. He finds the nerve and he presses on it. But what happens when your opponent doesn't have that nerve? What happens when the guy across from you processes threats the way most people process mild inconveniences? The plan falls apart. And that's exactly what happened during fight week. Chimaev showed up to every media obligation calm, almost relaxed, occasionally smiling when Strickland's name came up. He talked about how the UFC had moved Strickland to a different hotel, probably to keep the two from running into each other, and there was something almost amused in the way he described it. Like he found the whole situation slightly ridiculous. The guy says he's going to shoot me, and now he's hiding in another hotel. That energy right there is championship energy. And then Chimaev said something that hit differently when you really sit with it. He talked about what happens after the fight. After he beat Strickland, he said, and whether or not they shake hands, his answer was a masterclass in indifference. What's the point, he said. After the fight, I beat him up. Maybe I never see him again. The other 15 guys I already beat, I almost never saw them again. I don't care about his life. I'm doing my life. That quote tells you everything. This is not a man who holds grudges, because grudges require you to keep thinking about someone. Chimaev doesn't keep thinking about people after he's done with them. He moves forward, always forward, onto the next challenge, the next payday, the next name that gets added to an already historically impressive undefeated record. The money matters. He acknowledged this is the biggest payday of his UFC career. But even the money isn't the main thing. The main thing, for Khamzat Chimaev, is always the fight itself. Sean Strickland walked into UFC 328 as the kind of opponent designed to expose cracks. He's rangy, he's confident, he throws punches from awkward angles, and mentally he is one of the most resilient competitors in the sport. He does not break easy. He does not panic. He keeps coming forward and keeps talking and keeps making you feel like nothing you do is working. But Chimaev has an answer for all of that. He's a grappler at heart, trained across multiple disciplines, with the kind of raw physicality that makes even elite fighters look mortal. His pressure is relentless. His transitions are fast. And perhaps most importantly, he believes at a cellular level that he cannot be beaten. That belief, when it's real and not just performance, changes the way a fighter moves inside the cage. They take risks other fighters won't take. They walk through moments that would make someone else hesitate. They keep moving forward even when things get uncomfortable, because deep down they're not afraid of discomfort. Strickland threatened to shoot him. Chimaev went looking for him in the lobby. Saturday night, in Newark, there's nowhere left to hide. The cage closes, the door locks, and everything that was said during fight week gets settled the only way it ever really gets settled in this sport, with punches and grappling and heart, and whoever wants it more, when it's at its hardest. Strickland wants the belt back. Chimaev wants to keep proving that nobody in this division can touch him. The trash talk is done. The hotels are different. The lobbies are quiet. Now it's just time to fight.